Hello, welcome to EssentialCraft 3. I'm going to try and do a basic guide. I just destroyed a load of the ore blocks, all the different ores, right? What will happen if you do that? You'll get all these different types of drop. And what you want to look into doing is getting this thing first, the Matrix Destructor, right? And the way to make it is just with these items. So the item frame, you see the elemental gems with iron, is going to make those iron frames. The MYU linking device, you're going to need those elemental gems. You need some gold and some emeralds, and you can use ender pearls as well for this stuff. So nothing too difficult on that. And then the heat rod's going to need the flame drops and iron. The collecting device going to be gold, ender pearls, and more elemental gems. The elemental core, which is the one you're going to want to start with, will be coloured stone, iron, and the elemental gems. So all that in total, yeah, that's basically everything, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Now that will get you the Matrix Destructor, right? So the Matrix Destructor is like the first power gen block. So basically, that's the first power gen block, and then this thing is the second power gen block. And this is connected to. This is basically, yeah. I mean, this is basically how you're going to give all your machines power. First, start by giving it from the Matrix Destructor, then you give it from the Ejector, and this will be part of like a sort of big reactor style thingy, the jig. You've just got it in there. All right, so we'll start with the Matrix Destructor then. Well, look, we don't have anything in there. So what do we need to do there? Well, what we need to do is we need to get a soul stone, and the soul stone is basically. I'm not going to do it but basically the only way to get it is you have to get you throw emeralds on an emerald block, and then if you imagine this like an orb or something, a sacrificial orb, you can bind it, and once you bind it, you're gonna say it's gonna detect 0 energy, and that's because I've just literally just loaded up this world. So if I kill something now, let's just I'll just fuck it, let's do cows, I guess. So once we kill this cow, let's have a look at that now. You see that's giving me 254. And basically, depending on the health of the enemy you kill, is going to depend on. That was why I was trying to get a really powerful skeleton with no AI, so I could actually just kill it really fast. That'd obviously be ideal. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think what might have more health. I don't even know what this thing is. Okay, that was kind of lucky, but yeah. So you can see anyway, this thing's got more health. I want to keep on making sure it's daytime as well, because I don't want to change it off a normal mode and crit and that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Interesting. I'm going to look at that mod as well. Actually, this is obviously in the new Horizons. But yeah, so I had 254, right, and then now I've got 910. So you can see that because of the extra health. And so obviously it's just just multiplying by some sort of constant there to get to that number. So yeah, so I've got more energy now. All right, so yeah. All right, so what you want to do then is, I believe you put that in there, yeah, and you can see it's actually draining that and putting it into there. All right, so the next thing you do after that is you get the Radiation Chamber. There it is, the Radiating Chamber. So that you need diamond plates. So again, pretty basic recipe. Elemental gems, obviously the most important thing. You need this eye of absorption, again, elemental gems. Heat rod, again, flame drops. So it looks like the flame and the elemental ones are the ones you really want to look out for, I guess. But then again, I guess there's probably lots of different things. Like, for instance, I wonder what no, this is another early item, I believe. The repairer. I wonder what that needs. World interacting device magical. Okay. So yeah, you can see a lot of this stuff is going on in the Magician Chamber. But basically, there's two sort of creation blocks. They're a bit like sort of centrifuge or something like that. But yeah. But anyway, so what you would do is you get the radiating chamber, and yeah, and that's going to be able to. So then what you need to do, and so you put that down, right? Now, if you have something called the Magical Monocle, so this you're going to need glass alloy. How do you actually do it from that point? Yeah, to be honest, this is merely a visualization. I'll actually explain how to get it. You wouldn't actually have this originally, but unfortunately, if you don't actually know what's going on, it's quite hard to see what is actually going on. But basically, what you need to do at that point is you make a bound gem. And this is like the most important thing. So that's the elemental gem and nether quartz. Once you've got that, right, again, you need to actually, this is not something you bind to yourself. You bind this to the machine. So you'd bind it there. And you can see it's infused now with this tile entity. And then what you can do is then you put it in the thingy. And you can see that it's actually just got that MRU, and that's just drained from there. And if we look through here, yeah, basically, because obviously if you don't have that, if you haven't got this is what I was wanting to show, it's actually showing basically a particle effect of how it would get into that. But yeah, you don't really need to see that. I just thought I'd show it anyway. And then from here, right, yeah, and from there you can basically start making stuff in the MRU and all that stuff. Sorry, the MRU. What else is there to show really? What I want to do here. So yeah, there's also Metadata Manager. I don't know how that works. So look at that one. So for that we'd need magical fortified stone. So what we'd have to do is we'd have to put. So yeah, we look at the recipes in the radiating chamber. Let's have a look at some of the basic ones. Diamond and emerald is going to get you a resonating crystal. Iron and magical essence will get you a magnet. Soulstone will get you the MRUMP. Stone and... So you can see that pale elemental core is what we actually looked at before. So we can actually use that as well for stuff. The pale elemental core seems quite important. And we saw those things as well, didn't we, in the recipes I looked at earlier. Yeah, the pale ingots. And we actually saw this as well, the pale gems. So yeah, pretty cool, the pale stuff actually. See, the Eye of Absorption. So you can see these are all the early game stuff. Right, and these are all the things that we actually use to make all this stuff. So you can see that it's useful if you want to make more of these stuff. Mitraline is actually going to be used. Generally, you want to use this stuff for the plating for the actual chamber that's used with the. You see, if we get this stuff right, this is how you make the next tier up. This is how you actually make the sort of big reactor type thing with the Mitraline. And yeah, the magical ingots will be in the magician's table. So basically, all you really need is you need the radiating chamber, yeah, and then, like I say, and then as you probably saw, you've got loads of stuff in the magician table. And the magician table, you need obsidian plate, so obsidian with the magical fortified frame. So all this stuff that you're going to use to make the magician table. You know, the iron frame we used in the previous recipe, the elemental cores. Emerald plates, again, simple kind of recipes, and then eventually you get the magician table. So these are basically just the blocks you need. So once you have these blocks, and then you would do a sort of a bound gem procedure. So you get the bound gem, you would map it to that, stick it in here. Well, actually, no, I didn't do that correctly. By doing that, that's actually wrong. You'd have to do that, and then you'd open the interface, right, for the thingy, and then you could put it in. And yeah, and of course, if my soulstone actually had anything in it, it would actually be able to distribute it, but it doesn't really. And then from here, you can do all the recipe. I mean, I suppose I could show everything, but to be honest, there's not really that much point. And yeah, where's the recipes for the magician table? Well, yeah, so there's all sorts of things you can make with that. So yeah, I mean, and a lot of the important things I would say are kind of like fortified glass. They're the sort of components. Fortified, magical fortified stone. So we can look at the. So some of them are in the magician table. So the magician table, various different alloys as well. Shards. So there's also a method where you go from shards to clumps. I remember that way back when it was coal chunk. That was a long time ago though. I can't remember what mod it was. But anyway, so yeah. And eventually what you want to do is you want to get all the way up to this thing called the Matter of Eternity. So basically there's a... So yeah, so you would need this thing. And then, right... yeah, and then what you would have to do is you want to build... I'm going for like ridiculously fast through the mod, but it's just like... yeah, so then you do that, and you do that with the stuff. You need the Magical Monocle. They're basically these nodes. Basically, well, if you can see the node, you'd have to put the node, by the way, inside the thing with this. Inside the thing with the... yeah, you put... The node goes inside the chamber, and then you extract it, and then you use the bound gem on this thing, and then you combine it to all the machines, right? Yeah. And then that's about... And then you have to use the mithril plating for the actual thing. Or you can use... I suppose you could probably use other type of plating from the alloys and all that stuff. There's probably a load of different ones. So yeah, some nice. There's actually some nice looking blocks as well. So that's quite cool. It's sort of like a yeah, some sort of... What was that one? That was complicated. But yeah, everything is done in the and it looks like there's also some sort of trading system as well from this. Not quite sure how to access the trading system menu. Interesting. There's also a what was the other thing? But yeah, like I say, with the multi-block structure, you will need the enrichment check, the ejector. You need to have the for that you need the ejector and the acceptor. So if you imagine like with AET, you don't need the so you basically have the ejector and the acceptor. That needs a gem, and yeah, and you could sort of put energy in from something like this. So if we look at generator, this is how you put it into the multi. I'm not going to build the multi-structure. I think it's going to be like 4x4x4 to... I think it's a cube, and it's just can go as big as you want. Where are the ones? So you've got a heat generator and an ender generator and an ultra heat generator, force field generator, repulsion generator, various different generators for this particular mod. So yeah, there's also this effect like corruption, frozen. Basically, has to do with the node system, that sort of thing. Yeah. So balance is quite important. And if you want to clean out the corruption, which does give you negative status effects, you would use this thingy here, the corruption cleaner. Like I say, I'm going a bit over the top with the speed of it. And the other thing is you want to get to Joanna, which I know it just comes out a bit out of left field there. Yeah, you need to have this Matter of Eternity, right? And you can obviously get that. You need to build a big this stuff with the chamber, and you do. There's also the controller as well. That's why I mentioned it was like AE2. So yeah, the two different types of controller: the redstone activated one and a regular one. And yeah. So right. You can see this thing's not very happy, is it? It actually looks like it integrates into the world. Anyway, so yeah, so you put the generator and then you can put it in, and then you can also get it from mobs, generate stuff from mobs as well. And what else is there to talk about? Oh yeah, you need to make crystals to get essences as well. So you would need to get the crystal former. You would start off with the crystal former, and then you would also have the extractor again. Oh, actually, I may have been wrong in the last thing. I think this is the one where you don't actually need the controller. I mean, that was quite an interesting mechanic, wasn't it? That it changed. So you need the extractor and the former, and then you would plant these little crystals down next to it. I haven't got enough power, so I can't really do any of this stuff. But yeah, you would plant the little crystals down, and then they would basically generate for you essences like this here, and all different rarities of the essences. Fuck it. Alright, you know what? Like I say, this is a really fucking quick video, this one. Let's see if we can go here. I wonder if it will even work. Oh, it does. Yeah, there's different ways to... yeah, you do need to... You can move nodes. I actually believe you probably... Maybe not quite at the moment, but I'm sure once it all, like, they sort out all the programming with it, you'll be able to move it with, like, teleposition focus. There is also interaction with the blood altar. You can actually put the soul stone with blood in the blood altar. So that's pretty cool. And pretty much, I think I've basically mentioned... I think I've mentioned pretty much everything else, actually. This may not work, this process, but yeah. I'm going to give it like 10 more seconds to see if it works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.